Okay, YouTubers, this is Joe from ArtAlienTV. Forgive me if I sound a bit gruff today, got a bit of a cold, bit of a sore throat. We'll crack on anyway. Right, we have two images here with the same thing in. This is from Sol 821 Mass Cam, right from the NASA website here. I'll have the links in the description. The first one here, we want to look on the left of the image, near the center, and on the other one, which is just adjacent to it on the page, when you look at the images, is on the right here, the same thing. Okay, so it appears in at least two photographs. It probably appears in more that I haven't found yet, and may even appear in other image sets as well on a different day, which a lot of these things often do. But this Sol 821, the quality is absolutely terrible. Now here's the raw image. You can see this has just been clipped out. Okay, you can see how bad. Look how grungy this image is. It really is terrible. Some of these images are absolutely terrible. Could it be because of the radiation on the surface? It could be, but I think it's just a lot of it is from the resizing and compression they do before they put them on the website. There are over 1 million images on the NASA website from the rover, probably, and they couldn't fit them all on otherwise, so they had to resize them down, and they lose a lot of information. But it's probably partly deliberate as well, because they don't really want us to see too much detail, because the devil is always in the detail. Any forensic scientist or detective will tell you that it's the details that give away on a crime scene what has actually happened. It's the small details that really count, and they're where you can get the true information from. So it's all very convenient, but here we go. We'd have to deal with it and get on with it anyway. Here we go. This has been blurred and Gaussian blurred, and I've turned the brightness up and the contrast up a bit here. And here's another one, a bit lighter. Let's zoom in. I mean, it's never going to look great, but they do look like a pair of antlers here. Not symmetrical, but antlers never are, and they may well be. Let's have a look at here's the two images in here in my graphics processor here, and these are the raw image files. And when you get in, they really are terribly grungy. I mean, look at this. If you're watching in full HD, you'll see how bad these are. But you know, we have to deal with what we've got, you know, and get on with it. Here's the raw image clip. I'll just show you how I get rid of this grunginess, or try to. The first thing I do is blur it, and a Gaussian blur usually does it. For an image this bad, it'll have to be something like 2.6 or something to smooth it out. There we go. Now that automatically gets rid of all those blocks that you get. There we go. See that? The difference is quite amazing. Let's do that again. Let's re-blur it. Okay. Do it the same amount. 2.6. Normally I don't use that much. Normally I only use about 1 or 1.4 or something like that. But this image is particularly bad, so it needs quite a lot just to smooth it out. And you're never going to get much detail out of these anyway. This isn't very big anyway. This is probably only about 9 or 10 inches across. Could only be 6 actually. So these are small antlers from a small creature, you know. So it's not some huge elk or something, or giant creature. It's probably from something quite small, you know, some small sort of herbivore. I have found lots of skulls and of things like goats and antelope type skulls up there. So, you know, there were animals up there at some point. They probably all got killed in the nuclear war as well. If there was a nuclear war, which some scientists, and I think John Brandenburg is saying now. Well, that does kind of fit what I found, and I have been saying for about a year and a half, 2 years now, that it looks like there was a war up there, or a massive explosion, at least one massive explosion, possibly more than one. And this does explain how everything looks on the ground, and the fact that it's all smashed up, and a lot of it looks petrified and turned to stone almost. You know, I mean, a nuclear blast would do that. You know, and you could followed by a nuclear winter, everything would freeze. You know, it really does add up. We don't know what happened up there. This could have been 10,000 years ago, could have been 1 million years ago. I think it was much more recent than that. I actually think it was about 100 years ago. Because there were apparently signals picked up from Mars by people like Tesla and Marconi about 100 years ago, and they did say they were from Mars. And perhaps the people then were at war and were asking for help from us, and we didn't listen. And there was a war and they were destroyed. I mean, either by themselves, probably more likely, or perhaps even by an alien race. So it all kind of fits. Right, what am I doing? I'm just gonna white balance that for you. Automatic color balance. Oh dear. Now I've got a preset on here which gives it a daylight sort of color. There we go. It just makes it bluer, really. Gets rid of some of that orange filter. Let's play with the contrast a little bit. I mean, you're never going to get much out of this because it's quite small. It's in the middle distance. It's not right up near the camera, and it's a little bit ambiguous because of that. But you can tell it looks like a pair of antlers because you have a bit sticking down here, and they're antler shaped. What else can I say? I think it was 250 Sabre who said that my other recent find, which actually other people have found. I'll show you this now. I published this the other day. A number of people have published this already, and they've said it's some kind of alien object or manufactured. I don't think it is manufactured. I think it's a piece of bone or something. I'll just let it go through the enhancements here. Now, this may well have been attached to these antlers, because often antlers have large sort of blade-like parts sticking out of them. And this thing may have been part of it, and this is only literally meters away from those antlers, so this could be related. This will show you the enhancements now. Let me flick through. There we go. And if you pause it there, I'll pause it. Yeah, you can see the detail in there. There's like a honeycomb structure, like you would expect from a bone or antler, you know. So is this related? Yes, it's the same soul group. It's very close by. It could be part of the same thing. I would expect around this area to find a skull that the antlers came from. I mean, often antlers are dropped and the animal, you know, carries on. You know, they don't necessarily die. You know, when their antlers fall off, they shed. Antlers are often shed. Could it be a reindeer? We're coming up to Christmas now. Is it? All right, I won't go down that road. Okay, well, I think I'll call it a day there, because I've shown you as much as I can with this. Like I said, the image quality of some of these souls is absolutely terrible, and there are some other interesting things in here. There's something here, but it's so grungy. I mean, look at that. I mean, that could be a little dead critter there, like a little dead rat or something, or, you know. But the image quality is so bad. And this area is probably highly radioactive, which also gives interference with the camera lens, or with the sensor and that sort of thing. So that could also explain a lot of this. And heat haze, of course. It gets very hot in this crater. It's about 100 degrees, very near the equator, and it has its own microclimate. Here's the antlers here. Look, you can see them in the source image. I mean, what else could they be? Rocks don't tend to do that, in my opinion. Okay, so thanks for watching, everybody. I'll put some extra little clips at the end anyway, and I'll see you soon.